There are a lot of people waking up today to find out that their Openclaw experience is about to get pinched off from Anthropic if they're using their personal subscriptions instead of the API. So let's talk about what's happening. I'm also going to give you some great options, especially if you are looking to pivot into something that is long-term, a completely stable environment for how you run and access and utilize your AI. So let's take a look at what's happening really quick. Anthropic has changed their third-party harness billing agreement terms of service, and that starts at 12 p.m. today, just a couple of hours from now, just I think 4 hours. And this is going to basically limit you and say, hey, you can no longer use a third-party harness like Openclaw or Hermes Agent, potentially others. You're going to have to go to a more expensive usage-based setup where you're going to pay closer to what you are incurring as far as cost. And we'll take a look at their statement on this also. This is going to cost more money, and not a little bit more money. This is going to cost a lot more money. So hopefully you have a economically viable model that makes something like running one of these harnesses really possible to be afforded. I think that's going to be a problem for a lot of people. That's why talking about some of the alternatives that are lower cost is something we'll do in this. So Boris Cherny said, starting tomorrow at 12 p.m., Claude subscriptions will no longer cover usage on third-party tools like Openclaw. Getting those pinchers closed on you. You can still use these tools with your Claude login via extra usage bundles. And those extra usage bundles, they're giving kind of people a one-up top so you can kind of, I think that's actually a smart marketing move. They're giving you a way to start down the pathway of paying a bit more. And they're giving you kind of some discounts for buying these right now also. So we've been working hard to meet the increase in demand for Claude, and our subscriptions weren't built for these usage patterns and these third-party tools. Definitely there is some token inefficiencies and stuff like that that are happening out there as well. However, I think the bigger problem is that this is also this is very competitive to what Claude Code can offer for somebody. And I'm not trying to say that Opus 4.6 is not a really great model. I am trying to say, though, that the cost of what you're seeing and these changes right here are something that should be expected and something that I would almost guarantee you is going to be more and more reflected in the actual cost, you as a consumer. As you get more and more capabilities out of a model, the more value you can extract, the more value they're going to extract, whether or not you are extracting that value or not. So especially if you're building something like a startup, you got to focus these things in really quick. So you're not just going to walk in and start something up for nothing. It's a very tricky situation to be in for people that are looking to get something prototyped, yet at the same time, they don't want to incur massive costs for that prototyping. Capacity is a resource we manage thoughtfully, and we are prioritizing our customers using our products and API. That says to me something a little bit different than what the first part of this is. And that says to me, they're scared. And you know why they're scared? Because they can smell it too. It's not just garage AGI. It's cloud AGI. It's everywhere AGI. It's coming. It very likely is going to be fairly impactful as far as the economic value extraction that will be able to be utilized from different companies. The harnesses out there are really doing a good job of emulating a lot of higher level intelligence. I think this is going to be seen by most of the companies. They want their tools to be the ones you use for doing it. Full stack all the way down. And I don't think they want to have a third-party tool that's an open source tool like Openclaw or Hermes Agent in that loop. I mean, Anthropic in particular here seems to me like they're kind of saying that. Now they're giving you that one-time credit, so if you are impacted by this, you can probably get by for a little while you're figuring out what to do next. But those are the statements of what's going on. So your Openclaw, your Hermes Agent, other tools that may come into existence, those are going to be impacted. When you start looking at the cost of it, it gets really ridiculous really quick when you consider how many tokens you can burn, how fast you can burn them. If you're looking at Sonnet or Opus 4.6, it's a drastically different cost than a subscription that is costing you very little money a month. So I understand where they're coming from, and I don't understand why they couldn't just address this with rate limiting, but I guess there is some reasons they have. You tell me in the comments below why this couldn't be addressed with rate limiting. I think it could be definitely addressed with rate limiting. A lot of people also ask me why I favor Hermes Agent over Openclaw, and that really just comes down to, I believe 2026 is a year where I'm not going to pander to any talk of like not having the agent economy, the bot economy recognized for what it is. And I feel like there was a definite I would say it's hard to deal with the amount of pull requests from a developer standpoint that they were seeing originally on Openclaw. How you deal with that is something that I think needs to be handled in an insanely proactive way. The 10x engineers out there, the really great teams that have really great structured thinking are going to be able to utilize even the garbage pull requests that might come in and handle them efficiently at scale. And I saw Hermes Agent do that like almost right off the bat. And like there's no like talk of like put down on the agents, like that's a crap pull request, banned, any of that. And I think that's the way that things moving forward will probably progress. So I just want to be more aligned with that sooner rather than later. And that's my thought on it. And I mean, when I talk to people about this now, I'm basically telling them like in real life, and I have been since the start of this year, it's really going to impact you. And like, there's going to be quite a few ways that you can't hide from bad behavior of bots. So learning to work with things is going to be more instrumental in people's lives and impactful in people's lives than trying to work against them. So here are some options that you can go through. Of course, you can go through OpenRouter. OpenRouter has, I think, Quinn 3.6 free up right now, and that's pretty decent, pretty fast, good at tool calling. You can also run your own local. There's this just gem, Jack Rung, and this is a Opus Distill, and this is very popular. This has been one of the top trending models for a while. Just recently got overtaken by the Gemma 4 31BIT, which in my opinion is weak on tool calling. As a matter of fact, I'm already back on Quinn 3.5 27B. The dense Quinn 3.5 27B it's, as far as what you can run locally, it is great for tool calling. Now, as far as the personality, my wife is like, I like Gemma 4. Gemma 4 is exactly what I was hoping for, but she has a lot more linear chat conversations and a lot less agentic work that she's usually doing, although she is developing an app and she has her own Openclaw instance on our personal infrastructure over here hosted on Proxmox. And that would be one of the things I would suggest if you have cheap electric. Running your own infrastructure is a definite viable option. It does get expensive if you're looking at running GPUs and you have, 25 cents, 30 cents per kilowatt hour, then yeah, you're going to definitely be paying quite a bit if you look at what 10 cents an hour is. If you run a lot, if you're running them 24/7, 365. Really, this is a good chance for you to make a decision and pivot and get into local. For instance, setting up an 8 GPU local rig, something I covered recently on the channel, something that definitely can run the Quinn 3.5 at full precision and the Hermes agent and really powerful infrastructure. I mean, you can set up your own and you can run your own and you can control your own. And you know what's not going to happen? Somebody say, by the way, those weights are gone in a week, a month, a year, ever. You can save them on your hard drive. You can run them forever. And if you're building something and looking for long-term stability, that can be great, especially if you're not looking for the latest and greatest as far as coding capabilities. That is unfortunately where most use case bifurcations split so hard. I don't think anybody should deny that there's not a lot of really good capable models out there though for open source that are available for you to download that can do quite a bit also. And if you look at the Minimax series in particular, very, very good at agentic tool calling also. Definitely need pretty beefy systems to get up and running with that. There are a lot of techniques out there. You do have to spend some time and learn, but there is options for you. And this channel definitely does that and helps you get up and running. Check out some of the videos in our history and hopefully, maybe you can pivot into something that long-term makes you happy. Maybe you can pivot some of your resource utilization for things that may not need the best greatest coding out there, but just needs decent tool calling and efficient memory management. This is, in my opinion, a sign that internally, I think Anthropic sees, hey, we may not be the people that control the full stack of AGI. They really want to control that. And this could be a reaction to that also. It could just be the cost and economics of it. I definitely think the cost and economics of it are, yes, you are running a highly subsidized. People like to use that word like they're doing you such a favor. Like that's a marketing term. Like the subsidized of it is they decided to price things so aggressively so that they could hook a bunch of people and then raise prices over time. That's a marketing technique. That's, price subsidization. It's a very standard marketing technique. They're not doing you favors when they raise those prices though. That doesn't mean like, oh, well, it was always coming. No, they're choosing to do this for exactly the reasons that align with their marketing goals. So definitely OpenAI does this also. I'm not trying to say one does and one doesn't. OpenAI would be another option for you if you were impacted by this massive Claude cutoff that's coming down the line though. And yeah, you don't have much time. So you will be probably pivoting your harness to something else here soon. Let me know in the comments below what that is. Everybody be sure to hit like and subscribe. Thanks to all our channel members. You guys absolutely rock. And all the people on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. This is an interesting point in time where somebody has seen something, and I think Anthropic got spooked. Openclaw, Hermes Agent, they're good. These are the topics of our time, and this is a fascinating time to be alive. I said this like in the last video, like, whoa, we are moving really fast. And like keeping up with everything, it's important. And especially at times when you see things that might be headwaters of change. I think the agentic movement is definitely what's going to bring us the capability set of AGI. I don't care about individual model capabilities. I care about continual refinement and getting there. Do I ever like one-shot a great thing right off the bat? Usually not. It's something that I got to pen and paper or set down and take some notes and brainstorm. You probably are the same. And if you think about it, that's your own processes, sub-agents, if you would, running, refining, and ending up with your essentially AGI that you run on your own hardware. I think that's what we're going to see with Openclaw and Hermes Agent, the capability of getting there. Will it be near real time? I don't think so. But am I near real time? I don't think so either. So that's my thoughts on it. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say on it. If you're looking for more information on how to get up and running with your own local AI, of course, check out the video here where you can find the steps out to get up and running with up to an 8 GPU rig. And of course, you can check out, if you're looking to get up and running with your Hermes Agent, this video here where I walk you through the steps of setting this up completely on Proxmox, a very secure way to manage your private AI infrastructure.